G'day folks. Although I've got a hell of a lot of projects to get out of the way, I just figured I'd get this one done first, or at least get the cooling system complete so I can run this engine properly and tune the carby in. Right now I've just got all the hoses and things attached and just taking the weight of the radiator with the crane, and it's pretty much in the right position that I want it. Just got to work out some bracketry coming up from the front and bolting into the radiator's front flange. I'll mount it to the base down there instead of to the column up here. It sort of lines up, but yeah, vertical supports will be best. So that's what we're going to do today, and hopefully do a test run. I know this carby's not set right, so it's a bit hard to run it, but it does run. Oh, there we go. Looks a bit crude, but I had to play with the height a bit. I realised the radiator was a little bit too low. I want to try and keep the air bubbles, which are sort of up here, it'll probably build up on the top of this hose, above head height, just so the air bleeds out properly. And that's way higher than it needs to be. Fan's central though, I think that's how they sit in the car. Yeah, it's crude, but it works. Nothing a bit of black paint won't cover up. I've got to sort out the fuel system. I've got some temporary fuel tanks coming. Well, they're temporary for Iveco trucks and Volvo trucks, or bare chassis anyway. They come from a coach builder. They buy in bare chassis from Europe with a temporary plastic diesel tank on them, or petrol or diesel, and then they rip these temporary tanks out and throw them in the bin. So I said, bugger that, give them to me. They're made out of black polypropylene, just like the regular jerry cans, and they're often half full of European diesel, which is really good shit too. A bit of give in that. Not the best place for a coil, but it's just there temporarily for testing. I'll make a panel and mount and everything for that, probably a start switch arrangement. Try and duct some of the air past the exhaust as well. Make a mount for that. Yeah, right when I got to go out and mix up some coolant, it just opens up. Damn weather. This is my umpy scrap. Oh, apart from the terrible weather, everything's ready. Just got to get some water and mix up some coolant. Oh yeah, mount the heater core. Just going to stick it there for now, and eventually I'll make a little box to go over it with a fan. Put a heater tap in. Alright, I'm going to modify one of these old, or new old stock throttle control stations from a garbage truck. I've got quite a few of these in plastic baggies floating around at the moment. All brand new. They're a Telemechanique product, and it's got two normally open switches. This is for controlling the throttle from outside the vehicle. Obviously near the compactor or something you can use throttle up or throttle down using servo control. Red must be up and green must be down, and white's obviously common between the two. So what I want to do is, hopefully I've got a normally closed switch in stock. I'm going to cut that white wire and run a new one, maybe green only, as ignition, a continuity circuit for the ignition until you rotate the switch and break it and shut the ignition down. So that one there's currently closed now, but I want that to be open when I rotate the switch to kill position. This one here will be start, momentary again. So you'd have to hold it to kill the engine, but it's better than having a separate switch. Pretty straightforward if I've got a Telemechanique switch module. These just click in. Should be able to release them with a little tab in there, and they'll both pop out. Oh, I've got some switching on. Key switch is dead, so I'm just using a normally closed switch on the off position. That'll do for the ignition. Everything else is hooked up. I haven't strapped the battery in yet, but she does work. Just nice. Some redneck gas tank on there. It's sort of safe. There's a fire extinguisher there if I need it. But hopefully there won't be any fires. Alright. I know I've got PCV and everything disconnected, but I put a pre-emission carby on it, so I've got full manifold vacuum, just no scavenging of crankcase vapours, that's about it. But in theory it will still influence its operation, so I should really block that off and duct that into there or to the air cleaner. But for now I'll just see how well it goes. Right, power on. Needs a bit of adjustment, but it'll work. I think it's over fueling. Coming out everywhere. Very rich.